Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Black Girls in Real Estate, the podcast. I am so excited. I am your founder, Jearnine Searcy, and today we have some amazing guest speakers who are going to talk to you guys more about getting started and investing in Ghana. So we're going back to Africa, back to the roots. And we have these beautiful ladies here that are going to share more today with us about how to get started, the work that they're doing, and how you too can get your license, or you can buy and get your first investment home in Ghana. So let's get started. Hey, Love. Hey, Hanna.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. I was connected to these wonderful women through a contact of mine named Ambernique Bradley. You did. Shout out to you, Ambernique. Thank you again for following the mission and helping more amazing Black women get connected. She basically was like, hey, I need you to respond to this text message now. They're about to call. They want to share more with you. They had the first MLS system in Africa. And I was like, MLS system in Africa? I don't even know why I didn't already assume that that might be a thing, right? Because I think we're just in America, just assumptions, right? Like, oh, they have that as well. It's all the same, and really it's not. So I'm very, very excited to hear more about the work that you guys have been doing. You know, we were prepping before the call, and Hanna and Love were filling me in about their upcoming journey. Well, Hannah's already there, going from North Carolina, USA, moving all the way over to Ghana in Africa. And I'm just like, I need to hear more about this. How many women are looking to get out of the country? And it's not just women, it's a lot of people. You know, people are not that thrilled with our current administration, and people are very interested in starting to expat and just kind of, have some other options. So if we could start with Love, if you want to share a little bit more about who you are and, what the work that you guys are doing, I would love that.
Sure. My name is Louv Ford, and I have the opportunity of being a co-founder for Acrels.com, the African continent real estate listing service, with Dez Gerald and Hanna Atiase. Dez is my biological sister, and Hanna is my sister from another mother. So we are sisters, and we move as one. And it has been such a blessing being able to create this with them. Our mission is to bridge the gap, is to help connect the diaspora back home, because we are welcome to come back home. We're welcome to bring our talents. We're welcome to bring our ideas, our businesses, our investment monies. And so now is the time, right? Like, Africa is a buzzword all over the place. And so this is something we started 2 years ago. So to see that God put us all together 2 years ago to start working together, networking together, and everything that he's built and sown into us, it's ready now at this time. So we know that this is divine.
I love that. What made you even think to start this? What called you to it?
I had an opportunity to go to Ghana 2 years ago. Okay. And when I went, it was for another investment project. And while I was there, I had an opportunity to visit the castles, which really changed me as a person. And I can literally hear the ancestors asking me what I was going to do to make a difference or make a change. When I came back home, I could still hear. It was life-changing. I started marketing and promoting that project and got tons of interest, but no one trusted it because of the misconception that we have of Africa. When you hear Africa, the first thing you think of, I'm 56. I just turned 56. So I think of Tarzan. I think of Feed the Children. I think of fraud, or you're going to get ripped off, because that is what we have been taught.
Yeah.
And when I went over there, I felt almost like Malcolm X was like, yep, you've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, running amok. Because I was like, this isn't what we were taught. Like, everyone that I came in contact with was professional, spoke English, friendly, welcoming, loving. Hey, auntie, I have nieces and nieces and cousins over there. You know what I'm saying? So It was just completely, I mean, I really encourage everyone to make a trip. But that was when Des and I actually, Des went through a breast cancer journey, and then we actually joined Lifestyle International Realty. And when I told Sean Gerald, who was the president of North and South Carolina, about my project in Africa, he was super excited. And he said, "Hey, we've got to get this vetted." And through his network, he connected us with Hanna. And so Hanna did vet that project. There was no fraud with the project, but her recommendation was it was more for locals, not for people trying to invest or relocate to Africa. And so we just stayed in touch. And because she comes here, she comes to the States a lot too. You know, people invite her over to speak about real estate in Ghana and Africa. And so every trip, as much as we could connect, we either did an event or we had lunch. We did something. And one day we had lunch, and Des and I, we had been talking about it, and we're like, we need an MLS system. And when we were at lunch, and Hanna looked at us and she said, "Oh my God, yes, I've been wanting to do this forever. Yes, that's what we need." And so from that meeting, and we have a picture of that day, from that meeting, we got to work. So Des and I focused on the technology. Hanna focused on the relationships, the partnerships, the branding, the launch, all the agents in Ghana that were interested in what we were doing. And our partnerships with Garib, our partnerships with DAF, with the Diaspora African Forum. So it has been an incredible journey. We are super excited. We are blessed. We're grateful. We're humble. And we know that God put us in this position because he can trust us to do the right thing. And we can connect the diaspora back home. And we're doing it.
That's wonderful. What about you, Des? Like, where did you fall in line with this outside of bringing in the tech side of it? Where was your passion as well?
So my passion is funny because Love always says that I had the Holy Ghost, right? But after I came through my breast cancer journey, I was really thinking about, okay, I can't be out in these real estate streets showing property until I'm like 70 something years old. What really is my retirement plan? And so I wanted to partner my firm with another firm, and I was just looking at different firms, and I came across a video that Sean Gerald posted. And he's not, we think he's our family now, but before it was just like, oh, one of my friends said, "Gee, I see your cousin Sean Gerald out there, making all these moves in real estate." And I said, "I have a cousin named Sean." And so I reached out to him, and we kind of talked about our backgrounds, where our family's from. And he was like, "Oh, well, maybe." And so that was like 2 years ago. Fast forward, I see him post this video, and it was like his aura was lit up. His aura was just bright. And I said, "You know what? I'm going to reach out to Sean." So I reached out to him. We sat down. Uh, I was just like, you know what? God is telling me to do this. And I call them uploads. I get all these uploads, and I just came back, and I feel like God was just pouring all these things into my spirit. And I called Love, and I was like, "Look, this is it. We got to join, because God's showing me that we're going to be traveling. We're going to be all over the place. We're going to be opening up all these offices. I'm going to be staging." And I was just like, it was to the point where I was so inspired that I had to like bring her outside to go jog with me to like just get all the energy off of me.
Oh, wow.
But it was so when we say that this is God driven, it's purpose, it's divine, it is. And for everybody that's watching, when God puts something in your spirit, do it. Do it. Do not hesitate, because you never know who's blessing you're blocking. Because if Sean didn't move forward and do what he did, we probably wouldn't be here today.
Wow.
And vice versa. It just trickles down. If we didn't do it, all the people that we're connecting with now, we wouldn't know them. Be blocking up their blessings. So that's pretty much what led me to here.
That goes in line with what I was just sharing with you guys earlier about how this is my year, what I want to call like smart collaborations. I might now need to add divine into it as well, because I think that as you progress through your career, it's important to be aligned with people, right? That have very similar missions, very similar value systems and bases, and who you attach yourself to, right? I love the fact that you felt so led and called to actually work with him and that he answered that call, because through this, you guys are opening up, literally, you're opening up the world to people that
Right.
probably would honestly never see Africa. If I had to be honest with you, for a very, very long time, I was very much like you guys, where I was letting other cultures and people tell me about our homeland and where we're from. And very ignorantly, I had said, and I hate even admitting this, I was like, I'm never going to Africa. I never want to see it. I'm scared to go. I always was like, I'll go to all the other countries. Why would you go to all the other countries but be scared of your own home, like your own homeland, right? And so my husband, who is exceedingly well traveled, was like, I've been to Africa. You're going to go to Africa. I'm taking you there. And I was like, oh God. It's like, okay, well, we'll see. Then I went to London and I had the encounter with some gentlemen that were from Cape Verde, which is like a small like island off of Africa. And we were at dinner and they were like, where are you from? He's like, you're so cool. Where are you from? We're like, America. He's like, no, like, what's your nationality? I was like, American. He's like, why are Black people from America so lost? He's like, you are such a lost people. He's like, what is your roots? What's your ancestry? What's your nationality? And I was like, I don't know. And I had no idea. And so after all those different situations and conversations, I felt a little embarrassed when he asked me that. I was like, why don't I know? So, I did Ancestry, I did African Ancestry, I did 23andMe. I actually did both of them, and I pulled all my bloodlines, and I was shocked. Especially even with African Ancestry, to find out, okay, yes, I'm Nigerian, and then yes, you're from the Fulani tribe, and I was like, oh, I wear Fulani braids. Didn't know that was from a place. So it's just all these pieces, like little things that brought it all together, that have definitely got me excited. And then we went to Johannesburg. And when I went to Johannesburg, oh my gosh, I literally, even the plane coming in, I have never seen such beautiful green, like just everything's green and beautiful, and the people are beautiful and kind. It really was amazing. And I actually felt embarrassed that I had not gone sooner. So that's been my journey, and that's really what brought me closer to it and what made me interested. So when I was introduced, I was like, oh, I would love to learn more about, selling there and moving there. What does all of that look like? Yeah. Hannah, how about you?
Well, I'm from Ghana, but I had never actually lived here. I grew up in Ethiopia, went to school in Kenya, did my A levels in the UK in Oxford, then went to the US. And then actually mine was I remember one night I was in prayer, and I had decided to pray and fast, and I just heard the Lord telling me to worship. And I was like, all right, well, let me go eat. So I went and got some ice cream and enjoyed myself and just went into this place of worship. And I just heard him telling me, go to Ghana. And, I'd never lived there before. And so, I was like, wow, this is big. You're going to have to confirm this. And, that day, a friend of mine invited me to a prayer service. We went to pray, and this man of God just pointed me out in the crowd and said, I hear the Lord calling you back to your nation of Ghana. And I was like, whoa. So within 6 weeks, packed my stuff, stole my stuff, and came down to Ghana. And let me tell you, it was a culture shock for me, and I'm Ghanaian, right? Because I'd never been here before, and I was never taught the language. I mean, I grew up in Ethiopia, so I learned Amharic. I was in Kenya, I learned a little Swahili, and I was in the UK. So, coming here, I had to adapt quickly, I had to learn the language. I had to, some of the cultural dishes I'd never had before. And so, it was a big change. It was a big transition for me. And also, coming into the real estate market, I mean, it was chaotic. There's no regulatory framework. I mean, there was not a lot of professionalism. It was just different. So coming here, I was like, all right, you can either complain about everything that's not working, or you can be a part of the transformation. And that's when we started the Ghana Association of Real Estate Brokers. And then I started doing a lot of trainings in hope of, raising the standard of professionalism in real estate. So that's my journey.
And so basically that kind of leads into the conversation of what is Accrel's, like, what is the problem that it's solving? It sounds like real estate was kind of all over the place, maybe different experiences in different countries, different, townships. Like, can you explain more about what Accrel's is doing and how people can get involved with it?
Absolutely. I think one of the main things that it solves is, it provides a channel, right? If I want to buy property in Ghana, where do I go? If I want to buy property in Kenya, where do I go? So it kind of brings the inventory of the real estate landscape to one platform. If I want to buy properties in Africa, in Zanzibar, in Tanzania, I'm able to just go to one platform. And beyond that one platform, I know that I'm working with vetted, trusted professionals. And these professionals are also part of an association. They're part of an entity that regulates them. So I know that I can find a place where I can go and locate a property in any nation in Africa. And I know that the chances of being scammed are slim to none, because there is a myth out there that, people are just scamming people in Africa. And, I want to say that when I take time and interview people who have been scammed, it's because they have not followed the right home buying process. There is a home buying process in Ghana, just like there's a home buying process in the United States. If, Jearnine, you saw a property you liked, you wouldn't just go up to the owner and say, hey, let me give you some cash for this property. You wouldn't. You would go through due diligence. You would go through the right process, engaging a lawyer, a valuer, a home inspector. You would engage all these real estate professionals. So my question is, why do people come to Africa thinking that they don't have to do that? And so this is the platform that allows you to buy properties either as residential or investment properties the right way.
I love that. What does the investment look like from a dollar standpoint compared to America? I know people are very attracted to places like Punta Cana, DR, just because those price points are so low. What does Africa look like when we're coming over with American dollars? Are there loans? Are we, how are we investing there?
Yeah. So if you're investing in Africa, I mean, there's so many financing avenues, right? So if you have the dollars and you want to invest with upfront payments, you can. There's seller financing. There are mortgages as well. They are payments that you can make payment arrangements with the developers and pay during the duration of the build. Because in the States, it may take maybe a couple of months to build. Here, it could take years to build. So you could pay over that period of time. If it's going to take 3 years, you can make payment arrangements monthly, quarterly, biannually, and pay over that period of time. The seller financing, you could put half down, and at completion, you can have an arrangement to rent it out. And the rental income goes towards the balance of your payment, So there's creative financing here. And there are mortgages. There are mortgages as well.
There's mortgages for Americans?
Absolutely.
What? Now listen, you just opened up a conversation. Okay.
A lot. Like I said,
what are we looking at? Give me the D's. Give me the D's. So mortgages for Americans in Africa. What credit score? What do we need? How do we buy there?
So Jearnine, let's say you wanted to buy a property right here in beautiful Accra, right? So we've got you a nice, 4-bedroom house with a pool and everything. And you would go to any one of the banks here, right? And they would use your credit report from the United States. We don't really go off of the score. We go off of the report. So we use TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. We look at your ability to be able to pay back. So they look at your credit history. They look at your debt to income ratio. And they also look at your employment status. If you're self-employed or if you are, a salaried worker. They look at pay stubs, bank statements. If you're self-employed, we want to look at cash flow on the bank statements, and they would look at audited financial statements. Yes, you can get a mortgage right here in Ghana. It will be up to 15 years. And there is an age limit. So if you're 55, you can only get a 5-year mortgage. If you're 50, you get a 10-year. Yes. Sorry, there is age discrimination when it comes to mortgages here.
They're like, listen, you're getting old. We don't know how long it's going to last. And we're not trying to give you this mortgage so you owe us forever on this loan. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And then also it's because we don't have like a lot of maybe retirement options like the States. Maybe you have Social Security, you have, funds coming in from all these other investment vehicles and that sort of thing. So, they are sensitive to that. A lot of people retire and maybe they still don't have something coming in, but we do have pension funds here as well. So maybe that's why they're a bit sensitive. Yeah.
Wow, that is such great information because I can tell you we have run into issues in other countries where people have wanted to be able to purchase, but because there's no mortgages being offered, they have to come out of pocket cash or they're using HELOCs or trying to use, loans and things like that. So it does make it sometimes overly expensive for people to be able to get into it if they can't do, the monthly or quarterly payments. So hearing that there's actually an option to secure a mortgage that's a game changer. That's really honestly amazing. I hadn't heard that before. I had heard that there's other places that sometimes they'll allow that for, but I did not know that was in Africa. That is a game changer.
Oh, yeah. Yes, there are developer-backed mortgages here with 8.75%, as the interest rate. There are also diaspora mortgages. The rates are anywhere from 11 to 15%.
Wow. Okay. So that's not honestly, compared to the United States too, right now, we're not that far off.
And you could think of it as a private loan. When you're doing flips and doing investment properties, that's the rate. It's anywhere from like 11 to 15%. So
yeah. And you also have to consider the fact that it's high risk because you have your primary residence in the States. This is going to be an investment property or a second home. So it's a higher risk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Okay, so what are we looking at in regards to dollar amount for purchasing? Like, what is a typical entry point that you're seeing most Americans coming in at?
I think it really depends on the person's financial goals as an investor, because we do have investors that come in and they're looking for hotels, multifamily units. And then you have other investors that are looking for bank foreclosures. Bank foreclosures here can start from $30,000 and, go all the way up to $300,000. These are bank foreclosures. So I think it really depends on the people coming in and their interest. And then you have some people who want to buy land and build. And then you have others who want to, buy their dream home in Africa. And they are looking at homes that are in the $500,000 range or $1 million range. So it's really depends on their preference and how deep their pockets are. But we have a wide range of properties here.
That's amazing.
the beautiful thing is people can go to acrels.com now and see all those beautiful properties.
Yes.
I am not mad at the plug. Listen, go to acrels.com, you guys, to check out all the beautiful African listings. And listen, it sounds like it's time for, all of us to start considering what it looks like over there. And I'm really I don't think you guys know how shocked I am to hear about this mortgage option. I think that is a huge opportunity, especially for Americans. It just really is. It really is. Love, what else do you want to share with me? I see your face. I feel something off of it. Tell me more. What would you like to share with me?
So Hannah mentioned bank foreclosures. We do have a bank that I don't know if I'm allowed to say, Hannah, but we do have a bank that contacted us right after we launched Acrels. And so they are allowing us to list bank foreclosures on acrels.com as well. So there are opportunities out there. If you want to get into doing flips or updating properties in Ghana, I'm thinking about we are going to be opening up other markets this year. Ethiopia, Kenya, Nigeria, Tanzania.
Zanzibar.
Yeah. So
And I want to go over to Zanzibar. I need to see it. Every time I go on like Airbnb and I see those beautiful, it's like these it looks like an elevated like townhouse with like the pointy with the glass, and it's just like, God, that looks like such a dream, like a vibe. I love to travel, so it's on my list of places to go.
well, you definitely, we definitely have to have a group trip because I definitely want to
yeah.
get and yeah, that will be amazing.
You said something.
Jearnine, if you love those type of homes, we do have those in the Volta region in Ghana. We have those type of cabins. So, FYI, when you come to Ghana.
I'm gonna come. Don't worry. I'm about to come see you. What were you gonna say, Janet? I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, you used the word just now, vibe. That's exactly when I got off the plane and I walked into the airport and I saw all our brothers and sisters there. And then what really hit home for me is when I put my card in the ATM. And when I pulled that money out and I looked at that money and I saw all those beautiful black kids.
So, Jack, royalty on the money. You're correct.
But it was such a beautiful experience. It really, really, really was when I first landed and just took it all in. I was just like, wow, this is beautiful. It was a vibe. It's a
I
vibe.
feel like that in every country, but Africa was different for me. It really, really was. I don't know what I was expecting. I'm telling you, I don't know what I had let television, other people like put in my mind. Not sure. But when I got there, it wasn't anything in regards to what I was initially expecting. One of my best trips, actually.
Wow.
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. So how can people get involved that are agents? And I should say, not say people, but real estate agents, right? What about real estate agents that are interested in being able to either partner or come into the brokerage or start offering these amazing, beautiful properties in Africa? What does that look like? How can they get involved with you guys on that?
So we actually partnered with GARIB, the Ghana Association of Real Estate Brokers, and Dez and I actually just completed the first class for the diaspora. There will be more classes, and they actually allowed us to record it, so it will be available on demand. And if you are interested, then you should definitely send us an email, info@acrels.com. And once the recordings are completely uploaded and ready to go, we are going to give you guys a promo code. So if you type in BGIRE, you will get $40 off. It's $40 off of the training. There's about 13 classes in all, but what I learned when I went through it, I felt as a real estate agent, 70 to 80% of it was very familiar. When it came to the immigration and the land, I had to really pay attention because with the land laws, you could be dealing with the chief, you could be dealing with the government, you could be dealing with someone privately. So you just have to be very intentional. I don't suggest anyone go to Ghana or purchase property in Ghana without dealing with a real estate professional, or going through this training themselves. This training is for the diaspora around the world. And it is for real estate agents, but not just for real estate agents. So if you don't have your real estate license and you want to get your real estate certification in Ghana to be able to bring groups over there, to showcase properties over there, then we have what you need to do that. And Hanna can talk on this a little bit more because with the new government, there's some changes coming down the pipeline because they really want to sanitize and make real estate the professional profession it is, and not just, you're dealing with someone under a mango tree, or, someone's just shucking and jiving.
Right.
This really, this platform gives you the opportunity, to deal with professionals, to learn the process, whether you are a home buyer, because we also have a home buyer education in addition to the real estate certification. So we're all about education and training, and we're going to duplicate that process in every market that we enter.
Wow. You guys have this thing wrapped up. Right? I was like, there's no holes to punch in there. You guys have got this thing very, very organized. So what does that commitment look like for an agent that is coming in? If they say, hey, I want to be involved, I'm going to take the certification, I watched the online class, I'm certified, what happens after that? Like, what further assistance or education or handholding? Because I'm sure for a lot of people that are coming from the United States, they may not have even been to Africa before. They don't know how to, recommend. They don't have, boots on the ground. Oh, I should have got my fan out.
So we have partnered with eWells, and that is Hannah's company, eWells Realty and Consultancy. And what will happen is so the first thing is, and we do have a video that explains this in detail, but basically, the class will be offered live again, but right now we're going to market and continue to promote the first class, which is on demand. Once you go through that process, you do have to complete a registration form. We do ask, if you are a real estate agent, please share your letter of good standing with your association. Please send us a copy of your police report, and Garib collects all of that data information. Once you finish the class, there is an oral exam and there is a written test.
There is a what?
There is an oral exam and there is a written test.
Who do you have to give the oral exam to?
So Garib has facilitators. And so we are working with them to create a calendar where the exam will be offered while we're doing the on-demand, where the exam will be offered once or twice a month. And so you would just schedule to take the written exam and participate in the oral exam. The oral exam is 40% of your grade, so you do have to yes, you do have to participate. And then the written exam is 60%. And what they do is they ask you 15 questions from each section, and it roughly comes out to about 180 questions. It's multiple choice. But unlike the states, they don't try to trip you up. So you either know the answer or you don't know the answer. Over here, Hannah, when we take that type of exam, they give us all the right answers and we have to select the best of the right answer. So,
Well, we don't do that here.
Yeah, in Ghana, it's
one word.
Better in Africa.
Yeah. So once you do take the test and you pass the test, then you would work on getting your work permit with eWells, and you will also become a member of Garib, the Garib Association. So you would join Garib, you would join Accrel's MLS, you would join with eWells as a partner. And that's it. We're going to continue to have education. So there will be continuing ed every year, just like we have here. And to us, it was really about educating the diaspora, in addition to other African countries that may want to invest in Ghana or Kenya or Ethiopia, wherever we're opening Accrel. So we just knew that education was definitely a key component with what we were trying to do.
I think that's the most important piece of it, because it's going to also allow people to build confidence in working with you, and then being able to come into a new country and really, truly, be an advisor, because that's really what you're doing. You're almost like a travel lifestyle advisor as you're going into this new market, and you're helping people to create, even kind of like what Hannah was saying, like your dream life, right? people are coming over here to recreate, to start, maybe to make money, maybe to move, maybe to retire. And you want to make sure you're providing people with the most accurate and best options and information possibly that they can get.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hannah can
Just-
talk about the changes and how the government is really trying to step in and get involved. I'm sure she can touch on that a little.
Sure. But just to add to what Louv said, even with working with e-wells, it's just like in the States where you have a broker in charge, I believe, and then you have to work under a brokerage, so you're kind of not just a real estate agent just out there on your own. So we would essentially be the broker in charge, but we also have trainings every week.
Okay.
For all our real estate brokers, and we do currently have remote workers that work in different regions. So if maybe they don't relocate to Accra, but they go to Kumasi, which is maybe 4 or 5 hours away, or Cape Coast, or they're in a different region, they can still be a part of the eWalls umbrella. And we have online trainings every Tuesday, department meetings every Monday, just so that they're still connected and they're still having all their questions answered. In terms of what the Real Estate Agency Council is doing now is they're trying to weed out all these unprofessionals and all the scammers. So if you do not have your real estate certification, you cannot practice real estate in Ghana. And on a quarterly basis, they will be putting out the names in the newspaper of those individuals you can legally work with. And they'll say if their name is not on here, do not work with them, so you want to make sure that you have your certificate. So if Jearnine, if anybody is anywhere in the States right now, they are still able to market properties after they get this real estate certification. So you don't have to be here in Ghana. You can market properties right where you are, as long as you have your real estate certification, and get commissions for it as well.
And now,
And referral fees with the agents that are on the platform.
With partners. Yes.
you have to be licensed here in the United States to be able to sell in Ghana?
No. So you can be a nurse in the United States, but get your Ghana real estate certification and sell properties in Ghana. You could start a new career in Ghana.
Exactly.
Wow. What does the price look like for somebody that is looking to get started with this? Like, what's the total cost?
So right now, the on-demand certification is $450. The Garib Association currently is $70. And I'm not sure what the work permit would look like. I don't know what the fees are for the work permit, but those would be the initial fees to get started.
And then
And
the
just
class is
mention-
350.
Yeah.
The live class.
The live class is
It's
350.
350.
But the association dues are $70 a year.
Okay. That's not bad at all.
Not at all.
So basically $450 for on demand. If you want to be live, it's $350. And then $70 for the year for the association. And that's really it.
Yeah. And the live class is it was a 3-week class, and it was Monday through Friday for 2 hours. I'm not sure if it'll be the same time frame, but for us, it was from 12 to 2, Monday through Friday. So you have to be committed to be on there during that time for the live class.
So literally.
And then they would have to hang their certification with eWells as well.
Okay. How much is that?
It's like here where we do the splits.
Okay.
We do the splits, yeah.
And so, are they able to earn commission, or is it referral? How does that work?
They're able to earn commission and referral fees. So if they brought a group of investors over to Ghana and they were showing properties, they would negotiate their commission just like they would here. If they have a buyer that sees a property on acrells.com, they would just do a referral.
Okay.
And so we have asked every agent that onboards to our platform, if they do get referrals, to pay a minimum referral fee of 25%.
Okay. And then what does it look like for the commission? So if they sold a property, are they at 3%, 6%? What does that look like there?
So it depends. If it's properties here in Ghana for sale, it's 5%. Typically that would be properties under, $500,000. But if it's higher than that, then, you negotiate that commission. The standard is 5% here. And that's 5% buyer's agent, 5% seller's agent. If it is land, because the value of land is less, land could be 10%.
Okay.
Yes. And if it is a rental, here, typically because you pay up to 12 months upfront, it is 1 month's rental income would be the commissions for that.
Africa is different. They are not playing.
So it's more. It's more commission.
12 months upfront. Okay. You
Yes.
out here.
Well, and that's residential. Now, commercial, people even pay 5, 10, 15 years up front. You know, and I remember somebody from the States came down and they were like, man, we do monthly. And I was like, yeah, we do yearly. And he was like, yeah, but that's a lot of money. And I said, but look at this. During COVID, people were straight because you didn't have to be paying monthly. You were paid for 5 years. So you were good to go.
It's a different ball game. Now, when you say rent, what is an average like 2-bedroom, 1-bath type of situation there, or 2 for rent? What would that look like?
Yeah, so it depends whether you're in what we call a prime area versus a emerging area, right? The developing area. So let me talk about the prime area. So airport residential is like number 1 in Ghana, right? So a let's say a studio. Let me even start with a studio. In airport residential, a studio would be about, let's say, 30 square meters. That's about 300 square feet. A furnished studio could go for anywhere from $1,500 to $1,800 a month. But we're talking about a prime area, right?
Okay.
All the way up to a 2-bed, which a furnished 2-bed could go anywhere from, it could even be $3,000 a month for furnished. Now, unfurnished would be a little bit less than that. So people are paying that 1 year up front. And if they pay 6 months up front, half the year, you get half a month's rental income as commissions.
This should wipe away anybody's connotation that people in Africa are broke or poor, because, baby, there's some Americans here that couldn't do this, okay? There'd be a lot of people homeless. Good God, having that responsibility. It's not a joke. I love that. Des, I'm like, giggling too.
And I'll just say this, Jearnine, when we look at the wealthiest Black people in the world, most of them come from Africa. And when we look at the difference in wealth, maybe the wealthiest person in the United States, Black person, the wealth, I believe the last time I saw was about $12 million. But the wealthiest Black person in Africa, Aliko Dangote, he's close to $30 billion. So you see the difference there. So, this is a cash economy. The United States is credit. So we ain't got no choice. We got to get the money.
Yeah, you got to get to it. It's like, get to work, okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow, I love that. So I'm excited because we have our own personal link, as you guys heard. You can use the code BGIRV so that you guys can get involved and sign up and get into this certification so that you guys can start selling in. It feels so even crazy to say it. Selling in Africa, right?
Yeah.
You're just opening up so many doors and connections and putting people in new opportunities and places and spaces. So we're not done, but just so you guys know, the link will be on the bottom of our section so that you guys will be able to go in, click it, learn more, and get involved if that's something that you guys would like to do. Please make sure you use the code BGIRE and open up the door to Africa. Okay, so tell us more about the Kenya conference. You have a conference coming up. We have some future expansion that's on the horizon. Louv or Des, would you like to fill us in?
So I'll start. We had the opportunity of meeting a gentleman. His name is Ezzy. We met him through Hanna, and we had the opportunity of going to his conference in Houston, Texas. It's the Diaspora African Conference. And that was such a phenomenal event. It's the type of event, if you are trying to network with, he calls them popes. He likes to deal with popes, the people in charge. So if you're trying to network with CEOs, executives, government officials, this conference is something that you would want to be a part of, whether you're there or you're sponsoring it just to get the name out about your brand, because what they do there is they allow you to make some really true connections. One of the people that we were able to connect with through going to that conference is a gentleman by the name of Dre Taylor. Dre actually came and did like a 14-city tour in the United States. And so we were able to host him in Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, he does a lot of trips to Ghana as well. And so we were able to meet people like him. We're going to be meeting PLO Lumumba when we go to Kenya. So if you don't know who that is, I suggest everybody do their research. But they call him the Nelson Mandela of our time for Africa. So PLO Lumumba will be the keynote speaker at the conference in Kenya. And we're just excited and happy to be part of it and for Ezzy to have asked us to go and participate. I don't know if Dez or Hannah want to chime in on any of that.
Yeah, you said it. You've been really hand holding with Ezzy. Ezzy actually like, Dez, you don't call me. I'm like, I'm busy. I'm juggling a lot of things over here. So Love is usually the one that's really connecting with Ezzy and putting all the details and stuff together. So
I love this. So, okay, we got to go personal. How are you guys handling this expansion? You have families, Dez, you are a breast cancer survivor. We have all these different things going on. You guys are
healer, a breast cancer healer. I don't use the word survivor. I say healer.
Healer. Yes, I love that. You are a healer. I'm happy and I'm proud that you have come through this journey. Tell me, how have you guys been able to do all this?
It's really, really tough. It's tough for me because just going through the journey that I went through, I learned that I can't just go so hard at work and just be so focused and not take care of myself. So having come through it, it's like I'm trying to juggle it all. I'm trying to set aside the time where I'm taking care of myself, where I can work, and then still, spend time with my kids. Yesterday was kind of I don't know what word I'm looking for here, but my daughter actually came in my room and she was crying. She was saying that I don't spend enough time with her. And sometimes when she comes in my room and she's just joking, I shush her, or if I'm at the desk, I'm just like, oh, I can't talk to you right now. So it's just like, okay, I really have to do a better job with that because I'm going so hard for them.
Yeah.
I like the transparency, but it's like she wants that time with me and she wants to be able to come and talk with me. And I mean, when we were younger, when they were younger, I was able to, take them out on dates and stuff like that. And I really have not been keeping up with that and doing that. So I was just like, all right, I'm going to figure it all out. Lord, give me strength. But I think after our conversation, she felt a lot better. So, but it's
a journey. I tell people that all the time. I think that when you are doing God's work and you get it's like the weight of the world feels like it's on your shoulders because you're charting new territory. You are creating something that is in your head and you're making it live and you're having to put all the pieces together. And it's very hard when you're a visionary. I find that issue a lot of times when I'm putting together new programs or when I built my brand, Black Girls in Real Estate, it's almost like, one of my friends said to me today, she's like, you just got to put your crown back on, adjust the crown and just know that, you can do all things through Christ. So there's a time and a season and you're just in a building season. You're recovered, you're healed, you're coming through things. This is really a word for all of us. Right. And I really just believe that in that season, there is time for family. There is time for peace. There's time for rest, because if you don't take it, your body will make you take it.
And that's what I have to be careful of that because I already went through that. Right. Yeah. But out of that, I birthed something called Healing Home Movement. And that kind of helps me get out, or just express the things that I've been through, what I'm doing to heal, and inviting people to kind of share their story as well. So, yeah.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. It's always, I think it's refreshing because people will see the greatness, but they don't always see what's going on behind the scenes as you're getting to that level. And it's like, oh, well, they're perfect. They got this.
I know.
Africa. They're charting the course. They're charting the way, but you don't know all the things you're overcoming as you're just trying to chart. You're like, I'm just trying to make it on the plane to get to Africa today.
Yeah. Now it's like something goes on with my heart. Like if I'm doing too much, like I kind of feel like a little, like it's almost like a little weight. Like, so it's like, okay, I got to just relax and not do too much, chill out. So it's like, I'm really learning my body. I have really, really learned my body for sure.
I call it the body recipe. And I've been saying it for years, understanding what yours is and how you work, how it takes, you know, when do you need rest? When do you need a tune up? When do you need love? When do you need time for yourself, right? All those different just little sounds and things that our body lets us know, little feelings, and being able to tune into that and understand it. I think it helps us as women. I think everybody has it, but I feel like women are a little more keyed in.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. We're the multitaskers. So
Yeah,
no, I built us that way.
That's how I know we can carry it. That's how I know he's with us with it. What about you, love?
It has been interesting, but I'm a relentless type of person. I can't rest unless something gets done. Des calls me Sarge. Hannah's
Her
like,
kids are grown too. Her kids are grown, so she could do it all.
oh, I have twins. I have a boy and girl, and they're 29. So all of my my child babies and my grandson.
30.
I have, right. Thank you.
And
But my grandson, he just turned 4, so I can give him back. I can take him out, hang out with him, and then I can just bring him right back. But we also have a firm, like we're actually managing partners of Lifestyle International Realty Greensboro. And so we have agents here that we have to support that, require our attention, our dedication. So it is a balance, but I have learned to take one day at a time, put one foot in front of the other, and do what I can do and do it to the best of my ability. And my everyday focus and goal is to bring value. Have I brought value to someone today? Because I can't rewrite or change. I can't go back and change it. So my life's purpose right now is definitely connecting the diaspora back home to the continent, bringing value to people every day. And I just do what I can do, and I do it relentlessly.
Bill. How about you, Hannah?
Oh boy. Well, outside of the real estate company, I also have a ministry. I'm a pastor. I also have a church. So balancing ministry and marketplace. What I would say is for me, I've learned not to be afraid to ask for help, and to have a good team. So with church, I have great pastors. With the business, I have great employees, and not being afraid to delegate. And even at home, I have help. I have people helping, cooking and everything. So hey, I got to do what I got to do. And I think, yes, thank you. I love that word, outsource it. That's it. Don't be afraid to outsource at home and in the workplace. And, if you have a good team, I think that helps. And I also, I guard my time, diligently, and, I schedule everything. Everything is scheduled. Prayer is scheduled. Calling family and friends is scheduled. If I don't schedule spending time with people, it won't happen. And that is me. And so I think knowing where, you need help in, reminders and organizing and delegating and scheduling, that's what helps me. So with that, I'm able to juggle things, and then I'm intentional about rest. Like my rest is my rest. I just won't answer the phone while I'm resting. So when I'm resting, I'm resting. Yeah. So I think just being intentional about it and outsourcing is the way I handle it.
And Jearnine, so I used to have guilt around resting. Yes, I would try to, but I would feel like, oh my gosh, there's so many things I have to go do. I would I couldn't rest. And now I'm like, that is such an important part of my, being able to heal and being able to keep going and working. If you don't, you're going to be mushed.
And your body doesn't have that time to repair itself.
It doesn't.
So it's like, you're killing yourself slowly.
Yeah, you really are. And I love what you said too, Hannah, about, scheduling. And I was sharing that at the beginning, I've always just winged everything. And I'm really learning now that everything does need to have a place in a space. And I think that are successful, they're good about that. And if you want to be able to continue to operate at a high level, you do have to be able to has some type of daily routine and a daily process to yourself and your business to be effective.
And these are the things I told my kids. I was like, get on my calendar. Like I showed them the Google Calendar and everything. I'm like, just put a time there that you want to go out and we do stuff, please. And they're like, "But I got to get on your calendar." I'm like, yes.
So I could be effective. I was so glad too. Like, I have also been working on my cursing and my potty mouth, and I'm so glad because Hannah, I didn't know you were a pastor. I would have been so embarrassed if I had got to saying something and
It's okay. It's okay, Jearnine. We could pray together later.
God is really working on that for me. And I remember my husband recently was like, he's like, Jearnine, you are elevated. You don't know who you're in the room with. He's like, you don't have to curse. Stop cursing. I was like, well, I don't da. He's like, and now I've really been working on like, see, God knows. He knows.
And I want to say, Jearnine, I want to make sure that you know this because I didn't say it because she always blushes, but she's actually Reverend Dr. Hanna Atiase. She received an honorary doctorate degree. So yeah, she's actually Reverend Dr. Hanna Atiase. And I want to also add that multitasking is another thing that works for me. And I have asked Dez and Hannah when we're in Ghana, because our last trip, we spent half of the day at a spa and we got a lot done. So our weekly meetings, when we're there physically, we have a weekly meeting 4-hour spa day together.
Yes.
Love that. Almost like a place called Jeju. It's like a spa here that they have like all these different rooms. You can get body scrubs, massages, like the different like salt rooms and all that. But then with the hot tub, but then there's like a place you could eat and do lunch and meet. That's what you're probably talking about.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ghana was an eye-opening experience for us when we went to the spa that Hannah recommended. I'm not going to say the name of that spa because I don't want people to come and find us when we're trying.
Is you're working?
Yeah, bro. Weekly meetings because we are shutting down from everybody for those 4 hours while we're there because it allows us to connect. It allows us to, stay with our sisterhood, and it just opens up so much when all of our energy is together in one room like that. It is powerful. So just to be in that vibration, that frequency, that love, that surrounding, we're going to keep that to ourselves. But that is our weekly agenda when we hit the green.
Oh, okay. Well, at least let me come one time.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
You can.
You're one of the sisters.
Sister.
Yeah.
Maybe state.
Yep. Sister selling real estate. It's gonna take me some time to get to any type of reverend or doctorate, but I had
Don't say that. You never know. You never know.
Someone said that.
You'll be preaching here in December, Jearnine. I'm going to have you preaching in December.
Here's something that'll help you with that. So just know that to every word, there's a vibration. Okay. I remember I did an experiment with my daughters called the rice experiment, and we put cooked rice in 2 jars. One jar, we would just say, I hate you, pick it up, shake it, and then the other jar, we would pick it up and caress and like, I love you. And don't you know, after 30 days, the rice that we was really loving to did not rot as fast as the other rice. So words carry vibration. So just know that you want to always keep your vibration high, your aura high, so that you could draw the right things to you and not use certain negative words.
I mean, I have a potty mouth too. Des tells me all the time. So I know I've gotten better though. I have gotten better with it.
I have too. Like the way I used to string them together was insane. And I just was like, I can't live my life like this. I have to stop. So I really am focusing. And even if something happens where I normally would feel myself be like, oh, I'll catch myself. Like I've improved a lot. It's funny though, y'all North Carolina women. So another friend of mine, her name is Kendra Conyers, and she prophesies to me about like ministry and speaking and traveling around the world and sharing about like real estate and encouraging Black women and getting people started. She's like, it's gonna be bigger than what you think. She's like, it really is your ministry. And then after her she had an event that I spoke at. It was called Bible and Bags, or Bags and Bible, Bible and Bags. And the Holy Ghost, like I promise you, came over me in the room after her event. And literally I was told I was supposed to lead, I was supposed to teach, and I was supposed to expand. And those were the three things that were just kept like coming to me during that.
And you're doing it.
Look at
You're
that.
done.
Look at that.
Muskeka.
Well, Jearnine, please let her know you'll be starting in Ghana in December. We're excited.
Okay, I'm gonna accept it. I'm gonna accept it.
Yes, your first international engagement. We're gonna make it happen.
I'll be ready. Listen, I've done two, but they're not. So like we did what have we done? Cancun, DR, like Mexico, Jamaica. Not like, to me, Africa is international. Like, to me, that's like
Right.
you, girl, you're like doing your thing, like Dubai, like all the, just international, the real international to me. So I would love
Yeah. We're working on a symposium, right, lady?
Yeah,
So,
September 2026.
really, come join us.
I will. I would definitely be down for that. I think that your guys' work and what you're doing and how you're doing it is just so amazing. And I think it's just, there's so much opportunity. Everybody has been talking about, like I said, Mexico, Tulum, Cancun, Cabo, all those places. And that's cool. But this is real life work. You're going to the motherland. You're introducing people to things in places that we've only heard about. And when you hear about Africa, all we ever really hear is slavery. We don't get to hear the beautiful, great parts. Like, I'm shocked at the information that you were just sharing, Hanna. Like, look at, 12 months rent up front, how people are paying, how people are living, the quality of life, the spas, like these are the things that people don't know about, and they deserve a chance to hear about it, learn about it, and get involved as well. This has been just a wonderful session and podcast. I'm so full. I'm leaving elevated, and my vibes are super high today. Thank you so much for your afternoon and sharing and getting on here with us. Is there anything else that you would like to share before we close out?
Definitely look forward to having a part 2 in person in Atlanta. Not sure of a date and time, but definitely would love to collaborate with you on that and mix and mingle in the ATL.
I'm down for that. That's easy. That's to say less. Hanna, you look like you got something to share.
I'm excited about you coming. I look forward to it. And, I am ready for you to speak to women here. We do have African Women in Real Estate conferences we host here. So I would really be honored to have you speak to the women here in Ghana about that, because, only 8.1% of women own properties in Ghana. Yeah, in the United States, I think the statistics is the other way around. More single women own properties than men in the US, but here in Ghana, it's only 8.1%. And it's a cultural mindset and that sort of thing. So one of my passions is to see more women owning real estate and building generational wealth through real estate. And that's why I wrote that book. Will be coming out next month on building generational wealth through real estate in Ghana. But I want to encourage women. So I was so happy to hear about Black girls in real estate. I think you're doing a phenomenal job. I'd love to see you speak more to African women to help change the narrative, change their mindset. I honestly believe that every Black person should own a piece of the homeland. I really do. I think it's an error to having lived on earth and never owned a piece of earth. So I am looking forward to you coming and speaking to women in Africa.
I cannot wait. I am an invite away. Please. I would be honored. I think that would be amazing. And thank you. Thank you. Definitely.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Des?
Well, first, just thank you for having us on today. Really, really appreciate it. Just giving us a chance to get people exposed to who we are, who a Curls is, what a Curls is. Don't forget, everybody, go to curls.com and check out all of our listings on there. But I feel like one of my missions is to help raise the vibration on this planet. So I just want to share with everybody that, when you step out your door, be your best selves. When you greet people, say hi, say hello, and continue to help raise the vibration. Always share some positivity. So
That's so real.
yeah.
Carry that in my pocket with me when I walk out the door in a few minutes to make sure I talk to people.
I mean,
I love to talk to people though.
yeah,
I do. And it's just,
I told somebody I love them the other day. I told a stranger I love them the other day, and they were like, I said, I do. And I just said, have a great day. Have an awesome day. And that's what it's going to take, really. That's what it's going to take.
spreading love.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. Well, this was a beautiful session. Thank you, ladies, so very much for coming today and for us being able to just commune, share your amazing work that you guys are doing. People need to hear about this. I'm super excited to be able to share this with our community as well, with Black Girls in Real Estate, and helping more agents and more women get involved in the mission of owning real estate. And now we're going to say owning real estate in a piece of the motherland after Hanna. So let's continue to merge our missions and be able to support each other. And thank you guys so much for coming today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.